Christian art, the theme of the Virgin Mary stands out. Making even the most cursory visit to Italy demonstrates the centrality of the figure of Mary. We are literally inundated with a vast amount of art that concerns Mary and her role in the history of salvation. The sanctuary of the Portiuncula is amongst the most important shrines in Christianity and the centre of the spiritual lives and experience of St. Clare and St. Francis. It highlights this aspect of art and Christian spirituality in a very significant fashion. It is uniquely placed to underline the symbolism with which the image of the Virgin has filled the history of art and faith through different techniques and materials. Certainly the image which has succeeded par excellence in becoming an ideal for all subsequent iconography in the Basilica is the screen above the altar in the Portiuncula, painted by the priest Hilary of Viterbo in 1393. This enchanting scene of the Annunciation is to a large extent the fundamental image of this holy place. Starting from this work, there are numerous and significant pieces which represent the Virgin from Nazareth. It causes one to think that there was a precise iconographical plan aimed at exalting her essential role in the charism of St. Francis and his order. Besides the altar screen of Hilary, the Portiuncula also retains a precious sculpture in stone, the Madonna of the Milk, which dates to the end of the 14th century. A beautiful painting by Sano di Pietro, an artist from Siena in the 14th century, two Perugino frescoes dedicated to the Annunciation, and a painting of Carlo Maratta, an accomplished artist of the Roman school in the 1600s. The Virgin Mary is also to a considerable extent represented in the frescoes which decorate the Basilica, for example in the lateral chapel dedicated to the birth of the Virgin, painted by Pomerancio at the beginning of the 17th century. The image of Maria and her central position in the spirituality of the sanctuary is also reflected in the statues there. Reference must be made to the 17th century gilded statue of the Virgin in the great wooden choir in the apse of the Basilica, as well as above it to the impressive stained glass window of the Moretti School in Perugia, completed a century ago. Nor can we forget the majestic gilded statue completed in the 1930s, which towers above the facade of the Basilica. The totality of these images serve not only to emphasize how central the Virgin Mary was to the faithful throughout the centuries, but also highlights her inestimable value as a subject of art, in particular that of the iconographic history of the last 700 years in the sanctuary of the Portiuncula. The Virgo, ecclesia facta, the Virgin Made Church exhibition, aims to illustrate this history, displaying graphic art of the highest order and exhibiting the most precious works of art and objects contained in the papal basilica of Our Lady of the Angels in the Portiuncula.